Rolling from one sits bone to the other, allowing the rib cage to be included, the breastbone, broad collarbone. So you're rolling onto the sits bone or the shin in front and to the back sits bone, and then slowly spiral over. Lift up the back hip, push it slightly forward. Just moving 50% of our range. You can spiral the other way. You can lift the knee and elongate the front of the metatarsals, the toes. So just 50% of your range, and as the body warms up a little bit, the range increases. So you're rolling onto the front sits bone, rolling onto the back sits bone, which is a little bit more restrictive. So you can play with that a little bit, just looking over the right shoulder with the trunk, not so much the neck. You can use your eyes. You can even allow your eyes to go the opposite way, keeping your eyes to the front, and feel how that makes the movement in the collarbone slightly different in the head and the neck when you turn your eyes to the front. The head moves, but your eyes go the opposite way. So shoulder mobilization, a nice straight arm, spread your fingers nice and wide. And then there's that choice of collapsing scapula up the back towards the ear and away from the ear. So when I say shoulder away from the ear, you don't want to jam it down. You just want to keep it in that gooey light place. Now keeping the arm straight. It's not that it's locked, but you're really pushing into the floor. You're going to draw very slow little circles of the shoulder around the wrist. You'll notice maybe that in order to get a nice smooth movement as it gradually gets bigger, the rib cage is involved, the back sides of the ribs, maybe even the hips, that movement we just did, rolling from one sits bone to the other, making an oval shape in the sacrum. You can use your hand to help guide the shoulder. If you have an injured shoulder, please move with the uninjured, so-called easier side first, and just allow this whole area to mobilize, to free the shoulders up, the vertebrae in the spine, the ribs, everything needs to be alive. And then you can change directions, very slow, even slower than this, small. What is the quality of the circle? Are you breathing? Does paying attention make you hold your breath? And then slowly allow the whole spine to mobilize. Be creative about it. Keep it simple. Really focus on the skeleton's ability to adapt and mobilize, and just move in the range that's easy for you. I like to lean back and windscreen wipe the legs a little bit before changing sides. So if sitting like this on the floor is not your cup of tea, your hips don't like it, you can even do this sitting on the couch, sitting on a chair, finding one way. There's many variations. Keep it simple. You can even have your legs sitting normally on the chair, and then just, of course, looking over one shoulder. You'll notice how you rock onto the sits bone. So start small, really small, and then maybe you'll notice, oh, I can see a little further forward if my breastbone, ribs, and my hips are involved to some certain degree. And gradually you can put a little bit more pressure. Maybe you want to lift the knee and lean back a little bit. Spiraling the spine, spirals being our natural shapes in evolution, in nature, rather than flexion and extension. Industrial revolution movements, we want to come back to the spirals and the undulations. So we're just getting this hip here to roll forward and back. But this needs to come alive. The belly's alive, the chest is alive. Feel your spine rotating. And you can even look the opposite way as you do this and feel what that creates in the neck and even in the chest and the ribs. To look to the right when you go to the left, and look to the left when you go to the right. Or keep your head to the front and then just turn the whole body, but your eyes stay to the front. So give yourself a little side bend. It's going to this way against the shin towards you is not so easy. And then going towards where the hips are open, it's a little bit more accessible. And then you want to find that mobilizing of the shoulder. So this is my injured shoulder. So I do it second, never first. Because we want the easier, less traumatized shoulder to help teach in my brain and neuroplasticity the pathways that are safe and doable with less efforting on this side. So you can start really small, feel how the ribs get involved, the lower ribs, the side ribs, collarbones are wide, and you can make this as big as you like, but then of course it has to involve the hips, and then you change directions. So start small maybe, tiny, the smaller the better, noticing how you're rocking from finger to finger, the four corners of the palms, because your fingers are spread nice and wide, and you're pushing the floor away, and mobilizing not just the shoulder and scapula, but collarbones, ribs, and the whole spine. By working and exploring mobility, we stay young. We maintain the ability to build muscle with intelligence, rebuild our bones, and adapt to the environment. So if there is a fall or something, we're less likely to hurt ourselves. So again, it says that sits bones are movable forward and back, side to side, and circles. So any order is good. So that was just one exercise of mobility to play with, and I hope you enjoyed that.